Hi, Fashion Dolls, and we're back. It is Transformation Tuesday, February 27th, and welcome to another new episode of Style by Stevie. Our very special guest today is a photographer and actor, and I'm super excited to be catching up with him in the new year as we dish on what he's been up to from our last interview in 2023. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back Kenneth Grissom. Hmm. There we are. Hello.
Hi, Stevie. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. How are you?
I am good. I am good. I am good. The weather's good. Health is good. So I can't complain, Stevie.
The same here. Welcome back to the Dollhouse. Well, hello, 2024, because we did our very first interview back last year in 2023. And it is a pleasure to have you back.
Thank
So, before we catch up on what you've been up to in the year of 24, how did you celebrate and ring in the new year? I know we're like a quarter going into March. We're at the end of this month. It's Black History Month. So we'll be going into March before you know it. So how did you ring in 2024?
I I actually stayed home. I actually stayed home. I actually didn't do anything. For me, I think the days of staying up late and what have you are just kind of done with me. And so I'd rather be safe and stay at home. I went over to my brother's house and around 11:30 I left to get home. So I rang in the new year at home safely. And
The
I'm hoping
same here.
everybody
I
else
fell
did.
asleep.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did too. I stayed
yeah,
home and I got a text from I got a bunch of texts from everybody saying Happy New Year, Happy New Year. I can't believe we made it, and the year flew by so fast. We're
yes,
now
sir.
at the end, almost at the end of February. So we're now heading into March. So it's a lot,
It
but it's
is. It
amazing
is.
to be here
It is.
in the new year of 2024. All right.
Absolutely.
So, what have you been up to since we last spoke? Because we did our interview last year in 2023. That was our very first interview. This is our second interview now.
Well, I think for myself, I did do a reading play, and it's Fade to Black, and it's a Houston group of Houston actors that we tend to do, and they try to give black actors a chance. And so I did a
Yeah.
Fade to Black reading series, and that was we enact different. We have scripts in our hand, but we should know the script at the same time. But we're reading, and every so often we're looking back and looking at the audience, looking back and looking at the audience and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
so I was super excited about doing that because I've always wanted to get into that group of people, and so that was really a great opportunity for me. And I did that in January. And right now, I've been taking classes. I've kind of stepped back a little bit and did a little self-reflection, and I have to try to make some money. So,
Gotcha.
for myself, what I did is once I finished that, I said I'm going to take a few months, and I'm not going to try out for anything. I'm not going to audition for anything. I need to make some money, and I need to do a little self-reflection. I need to make some money. I need to take care of my health. And Stevie, like I do, it's a labor of love, and a lot of times we don't gain money from this, not right off. And so for me, I have to make some money, and that involves my photography and getting some certifications and what have you. And so that's what I've been doing up until maybe January, taking some classes, getting my certifications and personal training, so that way I can make more money and be able to do what I want to do when I want to do.
I'm so glad you must have caught wind to my interview that I did with Kevin J. Stone yesterday because we touched on. I'm glad that you said I have to take care of my wellness and my well
Right.
being because that was something that we touched on yesterday. Now, it wasn't supposed to be an hour long, but it just came into the topic of conversation of Black History Month
Yes.
and us making sure that we protect our mental health and well being and
Yes.
how important that is. So I'm glad that you touched on that. And I was going to ask
Yes.
you how is the photography company coming, but you've already covered that question. So I'm gonna go back for a minute for mental health because it is very, very important and imperative. Going into a new year, starting a new in general, it can be scary for a lot of people. And I know for me, because this is my 18th season, we are now at 571 interviews. This will be interview 571 and
Awesome.
counting, and more to come.
Awesome.
So we have been working, and I've been taking a lot of breaks. A lot of people haven't been seeing me on every day, getting their
Hmm.
notifications when they see me on, and that's because I make sure that I take breaks and I regroup, recuperate, and come back rejuvenated because that is important. And I said this yesterday to Kevin, being an entertainer, for us being in this business, you're in demand so much, you're giving so much of yourself that it's important that you are making sure that you take time for yourself as well too, and putting
Absolutely.
yourself as a priority because it can be your schedule can be hectic. And I know I just got booked. I'm booked all the way up until May, and still
Good.
more dates coming in, still more interviews and
It's
stuff coming
good.
in for me. And
It's
for
good.
me, I'm making sure that I prioritize my mental health because it is very, very important and
It's
imperative.
good.
And that'll be
It's
my
good.
advice to anybody else as well too.
It's
So I was
good.
going to ask you about the photography company, but you've already covered that.
Yes, I because I'm in Texas and because it's a little cooler this time of year, I try to get people outside and
Yes,
I try to get that business going. I try to, people are getting married, some people are not getting married, but I try to get people outside because I love shooting outside. I love shooting black and white. I love doing that. And here I only have about 4 months before it gets 90 degrees, so I have a short amount of time to get my clientele up and start making that money. Start making that money, getting that clientele, start making that money. And like I said, Stevie, we all do this. This is a labor of love, and a lot of us we don't make money off top, but we still want to do that because we love what we're doing.
absolutely. And you're passionate about it. And it's so funny you mentioned the weather with this dress that I have on today with everything out. And I should be dressed. Well, I wouldn't wear this outside. This is just for show today.
Gotcha.
But yes, the weather is shifting and
It is.
Easter's coming up and so many events. But
Absolutely.
I'm so glad that you're taking the time to focus on that because I know when springtime hits and the summer hits, there's going to be a lot of weddings, even for this season as well too. A lot of people are going to want photo shoots and things done. You're going to be in demand. So again, making sure that you prioritize it. So I'm glad that you are finding that balance with handling your business and making sure that you put yourself first because it is definitely a balance.
It is. It is. And like I said, I'm getting my personal training certification, which will and I was in medicine for almost 20 years before I entered in the photography stage as well as the acting stage. I was a radiology director, and so that's something that I've always. Medicine is my first passion, which I've always loved. But you find more passions as you grow, and I've grown, and so I'm doing the process of doing that, and I need to hurry up and finish that because different seasons are coming around, pilot seasons are coming on, and I
Yeah,
definitely want to be a part of that. And so I would encourage anybody to reach out and if you have the capacity, and I do mean capacity right here, but also the capacity monetary wise to branch out and do things that you never thought that you would be able to do or you never wanted to do. It's important. We're only here once, and Stevie, as I've had friends that pass away, you start to realize that a lot more.
we touched on that yesterday too. So it's like an echo. You must have caught wind to my conversation that I had with Kevin. We touched on that. I said we lost so many people. We just talked about turning 30
Hmm.
because as you all know, I'm 30 years old. And we talked about, appreciating and giving people their flowers while they're here because
Hmm.
I want to say 2023, 2020 to 2023 to now 2024, starting off in the new year, we lost so many people.
Yes,
And time is uncertain.
it is.
So make sure that you are pouring into people and giving people their flowers while they are here now. That's something that we touched on yesterday on yesterday's show.
Yes, I actually, it's funny because I did listen to portions of your interview yesterday. I actually saw him. He recited a monologue that I use when I audition, and he's a hell of an actor. Yeah, I have
Yeah,
to say, he's a hell of an actor. I said I don't know if I can do it like him. I don't know if I can perform the monologue like him, but it is in my bag of monologues when I audition for things, and so he's the real deal, and so is the other gentleman, Keith, I believe. I may be saying his name wrong. I think it's Keith. I may be saying his name wrong, but he's a hell of an actor also, and so yeah, yeah. I caught wind of it, and I agreed with most everything he said. We are given that we Black History Month is for me all the time, and I always tell everybody, Stevie, that we owe it to ourselves to be the best people, best person we can be, because of those that came before us weren't able to do that. And so I strive to be
absolutely.
that. I strive to be that. So,
The
but I
same.
appreciate you having me back. I appreciate you having me back on. It is a pleasure, and I know we're both going to do big things.
Absolutely. I have so much in the works all the way up until May. So many amazing
Good,
guests coming on.
good,
So many great things that are coming for me in the future. Of course, you guys know that I'm writing for Original Magazine. So
good,
Paris Fashion Week is coming up. You guys know that I've been giving you coverage from New York, Milan, London, all throughout this year. I have been so busy giving you guys coverage, and you've been seeing it here, back to back post notifications and things. So
absolutely.
that's what I've been focused on solely. And this talk show is it's just amazing. I kind of had my doubts starting this season in January because we started January 2nd
Mhm.
this year. And I kind of had my doubts like, ooh, are people going to watch? And people are watching. Luckily, sometimes they're not able to catch me because they're at work
Sure,
or, just picking up the kids from school or on the way home from work. And they're able to go back and watch the replay. Even when I didn't think that people would watch, they're watching. And even IG here has given me thank you, what was it? Congratulations on your achievement. People are going back and
good,
watching the rules.
good,
So I'm glad you
good.
guys are enjoying the snippets. And we give you a little bit of snippets of the interview so you won't, so you can be like, ooh, I gotta go back and watch it. So you gotta watch the full interview. Definitely.
Absolutely,
And you guys have.
absolutely.
So thank you for making this season the most successful out of all of them. Season 17 was good. I must have say, I told Kevin this yesterday. I said it was very chaotic because I'm having to balance out family and balance out this platform as well too. But now it's just like an easy road for me.
Hmm.
Season 18
Hmm.
has been like a dream. And everything that I put into, because we prepared, took me 2 years to prepare for this season right here
Okay,
because I knew everything I wanted, the look, the aesthetic, the fashions, the guests, who I all wanted. So that's why I brought you back on because I said, I love to see what people are up to in the new year. It's even greater things. And I told Kevin this also yesterday is that 2024 is the year of shine. Hence why everybody's like, why is she sending purple, blue, and the galaxy? Because shine. The theme for this season is shine, whereas the previous season before, it was just like, do as you please. It's
hmm,
very monochromatic. This season is all about color and being lively and more bolder, whereas before, I was kind of just like taking it in, taking it all in, and kind of afraid. Season 17, this season is a little bit more interactive. And you guys out there are seeing it. You seeing me interact with you a whole lot more than ever before. So thank you all for making this season a success.
Well, you stepped out, and I think that's half the battle, Stevie. I think that's half the battle. Once you step out and step in, it becomes easier. And we all have a goal on what we want to do and where we want to be, and we all have a 4 or 5 year, goal and stuff like that. And the realization is that you have to put a little bit of work to get to that goal. And I think once you put in that work, man, it's sky's the limit. Everybody's doing it, but is everybody doing it like you?
And one of my guests told me that he asked me that question, and I'll never forget it. He said, "What makes you different?" I think it was Jonathan.
Hmm.
His name is Jonathan. He's a film director as well. And he said, "What makes you different than other talk show hosts
Hmm.
or bloggers or influencers?" I said, "My personality. I'm a mystery. I'm a mysterious woman. I'm sexy. I'm alluring. I'm all of these things. And people are just like, they want to get an insight in. We got to know about her. Who is Miss Stevie?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you who Miss Stevie is. Miss Stevie is a daughter. She's a niece. She's an aunt. She is a woman, a black woman trying to make it in this world. She is all about fighting for what is right and being the voice of the voiceless. So speaking up and being amplified even more. That's who Miss Stevie is. A lot of people are wanting to know the mystery. And that was my answer to him. I said, I'm a mystery. People want to know more. And even when I did my interview with Mick, shout outs to Mickey Solar. She is the owner and creator of Original Magazine UK. I can't thank her enough for giving me the opportunity to be able to write for her, the fashion part of her publication. She saw something in me, and a lot of people saw something in me, and someone asked the question, what is it? We want to know more about you. This is the season where you get to know a little bit more about me, and I try to be transparent. So I incorporate my family more into the show. You know, I talk a lot about my mom and my brother and my siblings and my grandmother because they are dear to me. They mean the world to me, and they've been very, very supportive throughout this whole entire journey for this season.
Good.
So
Absolutely.
whereas before I touched on them briefly, and I'm just like, ooh. But now it's just like, let people know the people who raised you and who encourage you and who uplift you. This is the season where you get to know them.
I think I think sometimes we as black folks, we rather not everybody know our complete business.
Right.
Um, and I know I'm sometimes like that myself, but
Private. I'm very
if
private.
you're going to be in the public eye, then and there are different realms of being in the public eye, then you're going to, you're gonna have to let some folks into your life, and there's a balance, Stevie, that you have to do that, and so I think you've balanced that well, and we all seen what it can do, when you let people too much into your life, and we've all seen that it's harmless in a way, but you can't let people know too much about what's going on. But
Oh no,
you know,
absolutely not.
yeah,
That's where the mystery comes in, and that's why people are wanting to know more. They snoop and they prod around and they're just like, what is it about her that has people tuned
mhm,
in? 4 p.m. That was the key sole question that he asked me. He said, "What is it that sets you aside from other?" Everybody has to have their own identity, and more importantly, they have to have their own. It's about originality.
mhm,
So when I started this platform, I remember when I first started, you guys used to know me for that, excuse me, Lord, that damn blonde mohawk. And throughout the years, my looks have changed
uh-huh,
and progressed. I started, well, reading a lot more on fashion. I didn't really know what I was doing when I first started as it pertains to dressing, and I was a little insecure. But
mhm,
now you guys have seen me kind of shell out, and you've seen the journey, whereas now it's more, how can I say, it's more feminine. The
mhm,
styles have changed. Um, it's more eye catching. It's just like, what is she gonna do next? I never let, what is the expression goes? You never let your right hand know what your left hand is doing, or something like that, something to that
something like that,
extent. And
something
I'm
like
the
that.
same way. I'm a mystery. I love to keep people guessing. I'm a Scorpio. It's in my DNA. I'm a wild card. So you never know what you're going to get.
Good,
And there's always something up my sleeve. I always have something up my sleeve and a surprise. You never know what you're going to get. So
good,
that's what I think brings people in to get to know me a little bit more.
good.
And that's the secret. That's the mystery. And I'm going to keep it that way. Keep people guessing. And my
Mhm.
mom even told me that getting into doing this platform, she told me, she said, you got to keep people guessing, keep people wondering. Don't let people, in, like you said, don't let people know everything, but just give them bits and pieces. And that's what I do. So it's all about balance.
Good. I think it's because we're such a social media driven society. If you
Mhm.
give people too much, then they'll expect too much, and then you won't have anything to give them, and then they won't want to see you because you've given them everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And there's a lot more to the person that meets the eye. That's what I was told 100%. So keep people
absolutely.
guessing, keep people wondering. So,
Absolutely.
Before we get into our Black History trivia here with Kenneth, because again, I didn't tell him for a reason. This is Black History Month, and I have been quizzing and
Okay.
asking my guests questions throughout this week.
Good
And
though.
some people lost their black cards. Let's just say that. So I'm
All
like,
right.
you should know this.
Oh,
So
all right.
before we get into that, I know it's way long overdue. How did you celebrate your Valentine's Day?
Well, what did I do for my Valentine's Day? I didn't do anything. Yeah, I didn't do anything. I went to work and came back home. I didn't do anything. I can do for someone uh, any other day besides that, and I can do for the same person that I care about, you know, the day after or the day before. And so
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I didn't do
What did I
anything.
do?
Uh,
I know my mom. You go talking about my mom. Yes, she means a lot to me.
Good.
Um,
I can
she came
imagine.
in because my aunt brought her this basket full of candy, and you guys know I've talked about having acid reflux. It's no secret. The basket had a box of. It had a lot of chocolates in it, and I was
Uh,
so mad I couldn't eat
uh,
any. I'm just like, ooh, miss, you go ahead and you rub it in. I couldn't eat it. You guys know when you want something so bad you can't
yes.
have it. But
Yes.
I can have anything that has coconut in it, or I can have the fudge covered yogurt covered pretzels. I can have those.
Uh,
Those have been a guilty pleasure of mine as well too. So that's kind of how I stayed in, basically snacking on desserts and just watching television. That's how I celebrated it. But had to ask because we're like in the middle of it now. Well,
I
at
hear
the
you.
end.
Yeah, I didn't do anything. I tried not to eat a lot of chocolate. It's one of those guilty pleasures that you can go in and because they're so small, you think that you want to only eat one, and you think only four will probably not do good any harm to you, but in actuality, four it will do harm to you. So I ate more than that, and I shouldn't have. I should not have. I feel guilty, but it was good at the time. So it was good at the time. It was really good at the time, and so I like coconut. I like Mounds and almond joy, but those are uh, I'm glad it's only one day that people feel like they need to do all of that because
And
it's you can do it any other day. You can do any other if you care for a person, you can do for that person any other day besides that, and it'll be fine. That's my take. For some people that's different, and to each his own, as they say.
I've seen people have these beautiful, and I mean huge bouquets of flowers, and I'm just like, I want that. But you can go out and treat yourself to anybody who, didn't have a Valentine or didn't celebrate with a significant other. Treat yourself, pour into yourself. Go and get a ticket to go see a movie. There's things you can do to anybody out there who's single. It can be Valentine's Day or Singles Awareness Day. That's what it's called. So to
Okay.
anybody out there, but I did get a lot of that Happy Valentine's Day from people, and Happy Galentine's for women. We, love on our best friends, our
Sure.
sisters.
Sure.
So yeah, and I've had a lot of Galentines. But I've got a happy Valentine's from a few fellas, a few gentlemen friends of mine. So I'm thankful for that. And just thankful to be here. So make sure that you are pouring into yourself. It goes back to what I said
Yes.
yesterday.
Yes. I As I've gotten older, I'm more nervous about what's to come, and I don't think I've ever been that nervous, Stevie. But I'm more nervous about. I shouldn't say more nervous, but apprehensive. You start to realize that you're mortal, and your mortality is you may not be here. You could not be here for whatever reason. This could be the last time Stevie and I talk for whatever reason, and you know that would be it. And so. Um, it goes back to what we talked about earlier.
Absolutely.
Celebrate those that are here, and celebrate yourself, and try to be the best person you can be, and treat others kindly as they would treat you. I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, fashion balls. So let's get into this Black History trivia here with Kenneth. Now, a lot of people lost their black cards doing this trivia throughout this week.
All
All
right.
right?
All right.
So
All right. All right.
let's get into it. Who Who was the African American politician and civil rights activist who became the first African American mayor of Atlanta, Georgia in 1974?
Oh, okay. I know this guy's name. He has something named after him in Georgia, and I don't want to lose my card. I don't know, Stevie. I don't know. I
Maynard
can't.
Jackson. It's Maynard Jackson.
Okay, so I didn't even think that was him. So I didn't know. But I didn't know. I didn't know that was him. Come on, Stevie. What you got for me? I'm ready. I'm ready. That was a
All
warm
right.
up. That was a warm up. That was a warm up.
Who was the African American woman who famously refused to give up her seat on a segregated bus in Montgomery, Alabama before Rosa Parks?
Oh, so you threw the before Rosa Parks on me. Um, I know that lady's name. Oh, Stevie, I don't know. I can't recall.
Claudette Calvin.
Claudette Calvin. I'm sorry.
All
I
right.
can't.
Here's the next one. What was the purpose of the Freedom Summer Project in 1964?
That was, what was the purpose of it? Where are you getting these questions from? And why don't I know them? Where are you getting these questions from? Um, Freedom Summer Project in 1964. What was the purpose of it? Hmm.
I'll give you a hint. Me and Kevin talked about this yesterday on the show, the importance of voting and what do people need to do in order to do that.
They need to get to the polls. In order to do that, they need to, is that right, Stevie? They need to
Get
get to the
close.
polls.
Get warm. It
It
starts with an R.
starts with an M.
An
Um,
R.
R. Register to vote. Or
That's it. To register African American voters in Mississippi and promote civil rights activism. That is the purpose of the Freedom Summer Project. All right. Now
okay, I
we're
get it.
getting into music.
Okay.
Who was the African American musician known as the King of Jazz and one of the most influential figures in the development of jazz music?
Duke Ellington?
Mm-hmm.
No. Jazz music. Is this person still alive? Obviously, probably not. Person's gone. It's not Duke Ellington. It's not. Could be a number of people. It
His name
is
starts with an L. I'll give you a hint. His name starts with an L.
okay. Um, hmm, I don't know, Stevie. It starts.
Louis Armstrong.
Ah,
Louis Armstrong.
I knew that. I knew that.
Okay.
I need to
This
use
one,
one like that again. I need to use one. I knew that.
I love this woman so much. She was Madonna before Madonna even came into the world. She was a black woman.
Okay.
All right. Who was the African American dancer, singer, and actress who became an international symbol of black pride and excellence in the arts? And I'll give you a hint. She wore a banana skirt.
Diana Ross? No. Um, she was Madonna before there was a Madonna. Aretha Franklin. No.
Give
Patti
you another
LaBelle.
clue. Finger waves, banana skirt. And if you've seen the movie with Lynn Whitfield, she was topless and she had on a banana skirt. And she had a home called Les Milan, and she had all of these animals.
Eartha Kitt. No, that's not her. I don't know.
Josephine Baker.
I was in a play with her. I should have. Ah, I was in a play. I did a performance with her. I remember that she had the bananas hanging off of it. I
Mm-hmm.
remember.
Yep. Now this one should be a little bit more easier.
All right.
Who was the African American author of the novel Their Eyes Were Watching God, which explored themes of love, independence, and racial identity?
Was it August Wilson? No.
That's the piano
Uh,
lesson.
okay.
It's a woman.
She's not the lady who, and I forget her name now. She is not a poet. I'm
Something like that. She was in the Harlem Renaissance era with Langston Hughes. And she specialized in folk horror.
name starts with an M.
Z.
Z. I don't know. I don't know.
Zora Neale Hurston.
I need to give up my card. I don't need. I need to give. I need to just hand it over now. I'm partly embarrassed that I didn't know any of these, and because I've been in productions that have I've been next to a person that's played this person. I need to go back to I need to go back and learn a little bit more. Obviously, I'm in the dark about a lot of this, or maybe just not knowing it, I should say. What you got
All right.
anything else for me?
The
No.
last one. Everybody should know this.
Okay.
Who was the African American singer and actress who became the first Black woman to win an Academy Award for her performance in the film Gone with the Wind?
Hattie McDaniel.
That's it.
Okay.
Correct. All right. Fashion balls. So we give him 1 point on that. The rest of it was caught up in the fall.
I should have known over half of those. Louis Armstrong, Josephine Baker. I should have known those.
Zora Neale Hurston.
Zora Neale
Yes.
Hurston. I should have known those. I should have. I'm gonna cut my black heart. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna actually put it away, and I'm gonna mail it to you. I want you to mail it back to me when we do this again, so I can. I need to catch up on my Black history. It's unfortunate that I didn't get any of those right, but I will do my due diligence, so I won't be embarrassed next time.
And the questions, I always mix it up. So you got a mix of the civil rights movement, you got jazz, music, you got acting, you got all of that in one. So it was great.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. That I will actually look every one of those people up so that if I get asked one of those old time brothers, I will know what I'm talking about.
All right, fashion dolls. So before we close out, are there any encouraging words that you would like to impart to people going off into a whole new month? We'll be in March before you know it. March is International Women's History Month, celebrating women and our achievements to the world and things that we've contributed to. Are there any words of wisdom that you would like to leave to your supporters, to your friends who are watching?
Well, again, I've had few friends of mine who have passed away, and for me, living your life a little bit more. Um, I would encourage anybody to branch out, do what you can, do what you want to do. We don't know if today is promised or tomorrow is promised, but just try to be the best person you can be, and so that we can all get through this life and be positive. And so I have to try to be more positive myself, and I'm trying to do that. Don't put negativity out in the world, and I'm trying to do that also. I'm trying to remain positive within me and not spread negativity, because that negativity will probably come back to you. And so I really am practicing that, and that's new for me. And so but just try to be the best person you can be, and always try to maintain a level of calmness and a wherewithal about what's going on with your surroundings, and hopefully we'll all get through this life, and we'll get through the next year and the next year and the next year. But keep your friends closer and your enemies closer. I guess that's one thing that I have learned, and yeah, that's really it. That's really it.
And today's final thought comes from Coco Jones. She says it's normal to encounter major obstacles on your journey to success. And shout outs to my brother K Tukes. He gave me a comment yesterday. He says you've become a phenomenal woman. You've endured so much, you've encountered so much, and I have been through so much in my life. And to be here still standing, my testimony to anybody would be to keep going, keep focused. And I have 100% straight, narrow focus. And I think that's how a lot of people need to be in life. Stay focused on the prize that you are headed towards. And
Mm-hmm.
don't let anything detour you from the destination of getting to that prize. Keep going forward and keep overcoming these obstacles. It wasn't easy for me, but to anybody else out here, keep going. Again, this is interview 571. And I kept going. Half of these interviews throughout this week, I had a cold and I was fighting a cold. So that's why my voice was going in and out. But to be here rejuvenated, refreshed, and living to tell the truth, to be able to tell my testimony, like Kenneth just mentioned, a lot of people have came in this world and have left this world who are no longer here. And you have to continue to keep going because they are looking down on you. They are wanting to see you succeed and do well. And 30 is a very special number for me, not only just that with my age, but for anybody who's 30, you are divinely protected. But all of us, we are divinely protected. And I looked up the meaning of the number 30, and it means that you have guardian angels watching over you, that you are deeply divinely protected. So I'm thankful for all the love and support, and that's to everybody out here. So definitely continue to keep overcoming these obstacles and challenges. And that is the final thought of the day. So, where can everyone follow you, Kenneth? And it was so great catching up with you.
Well, again, Stevie, I appreciate you for having me on again. Like I said, when you get your station, look out for me. And when I get when I'm walking the red carpet, or maybe I might be on the front of a magazine or something like that. I got you. I got you. Those who have helped me pave the way. I don't forget those folks. And so, but you can find me on Instagram. I am Ken underscore actor. Pardon me, Ken underscore Grissom underscore actor. And you can find me on Opia Photography. That is my photography site. OPIA underscore photography. And once I get my personal training up and going, uh, we'll get that going also, and I'll send a link out to everybody, and I'll be doing online personal training, and we will have more means to connect with everybody. And so please look out for me. Please reach out to me. I'm available to travel acting. I'm available for travel photography also. So I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate everybody taking their time to interview me, and especially you, Stevie. So you take care of yourself.
I definitely will. And we set something up again in the future for the spring when it's not so
Absolutely.
cold, because I'm glad you mentioned it. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it's this weather is a mess now. It's going to be 80 degrees here, but in a few days it's going to be 50 degrees, and so
so
I
make
don't
sure
know.
you guys are staying warm out here.
I don't know. I don't know, and I got a little cold that I'm dealing with, and I know everybody else is sick in some type of way, and I know COVID is still very much around, and so we have to protect ourselves with that. And nobody wants that. And so that is still very much taking people out. And so we should all be vigilant as much as we can, you know. So wash your hands if you're sick, you know, do all those things. But this weather is something else. So I'm hoping it will balance out. And once April gets here in Texas, we're looking at those 90-degree days. So
All right, fashion dolls, there you have it. So hopefully joining me tomorrow, Juan Antonio will be joining me, hopefully. If not, I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure that you head on over and subscribe to Style by Stevie Daytime on YouTube if you have not, and hit that bell so you'll be notified. This interview will be uploaded there, and you can catch the replay here on IGTV in case you missed it. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then we will be kicking off March. Magnificent March. I was going to say March Madness. I'm thinking about basketball and football. So we created Magnificent March here on Style by Stevie, and we have some great guests coming on in March. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I will see you hopefully tomorrow, Fashion Dolls. Not, then make sure you guys are catching up on the previous episodes in case you missed them. And follow Kenneth. Check out Obia Photography and check out all of his projects that he is working on as well too. And it was great catching up with you as always.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you again having me back on, and each and every time we meet, we both grow.
Yes.
We
All
both
the
grow.
time.
We both grow. So you take care of yourself, okay?
You too, and I look forward to chatting with you soon.
Absolutely. Take care.
You too.